Accept that you are not important to some people and move on. Every time when you are rejected for something good, you are redirected to something better. Remember, some of the best times of your life haven't even happened yet. Whatever they think of you, do what you think is fair. Be equally indifferent to blame and praise. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. It is difficult to understand the universe if you only study one planet. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. The purpose of today's training is to defeat yesterday's understanding. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our expectations. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. It's a part of life. Do not chase after happiness. It is always in you. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. What to speak is knowledge, and when to speak is intelligence. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. The longer you live in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. You won't forget some bad things. You just stop caring. Until that happens, don't stress too much about it. It's never too late to do the things you've always wanted to do. Don't let naysayers discourage you because they may be projecting their own insecurities. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. Your entire life can change in an instant. So instead of passively taking what you have for granted, be grateful for it and do whatever good you can with it. One of the most dangerous things you can do is believe someone's opinion about you. It's not about having time. It's about making time. You can't always be nice. That's how people take advantage of you. Sometimes you have to set boundaries. Never make someone a priority who only makes you an option. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things worth feeling good about. A lot of things broke your heart, but fixed your vision. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes sacrifice. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. You can make all the mistakes you want, just don't make the same one twice. People don't decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. The faster you do the things you avoid, the faster you get the good things you want. Accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you cannot accept. It's okay if you don't know how to move on. Start with something easier, like not going back. Sometimes you just need to be a bit selfish. Put yourself first and think about what is best for you. Learn to see people for what they are, not what you want them to be. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. You think you know someone, but mostly you just know what you want to know. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Loneliness is the price you pay when you start to improve yourself. Characterize people by their actions, and you will never be fooled by their words. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try and paint a different picture. You are always responsible for how you act, no matter how you feel. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Learn to deal with people for who they are, not who you want to be. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better. It makes you feel better. Accept things as they are. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future. It's about living in the now. People who play roles will eventually forget their lines. Pay attention. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. If nothing else, some people just teach you how not to be. You can't make anyone love you, and you can't force yourself to love anyone else. Don't burn your opportunities for temporary comfort. People will walk in and out of your life, and those you least expect will become past remembrances of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Your past or childhood may be messy, but it's a great force in your future. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Your friends and family do not always know what is best for you. Develop a willingness to be disliked. This will grant you the freedom to do what needs to be done, even if it's unpopular. Be brave enough to say what you want to say, not what people want to hear. We often overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what is possible in 5. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone else, you have already forgotten your value. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. No matter how good you are, if you are in the wrong place, you are worthless. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. When you blame someone else for your problems, you're giving them power over you. You're allowing them to define and dictate your happiness and well-being. You don't find your purpose somewhere else. You create your purpose, exactly where you are, and you bear meaning to it. No single thing will solve all your problems. No goal, no achievement, no relationship. You will always feel mildly inadequate and somewhat dissatisfied with your life. Above all things, respect yourself. You can only fight the way you practice. Understand the harm and benefit of everything. With your spirit open and unconstricted, look at things from a high point of view. Whatever your determination or willpower, it is foolish to try to change the nature of things. Things work the way they do, because that is the way of things. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Anger begins in folly and ends in repentance. The worst kind of enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. You don't have to attend every argument. You're invited to. Do not discuss your past with anyone, because only you know its true story and significance. Others may not understand, or even use it against you. Destroy the old you before it destroys you. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Never be so loyal that you betray yourself. There is always time. The only question is how long you will make excuses and pretend that it doesn't exist. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you will see all around you. The more generous life will seem, and the happier you will become. Sometimes you need to stop seeing the good in people and start seeing what they show you. Everything comes to you at the right time. Be patient and trust the process. You can't always help. Sometimes you will watch people you love make terrible decisions despite the advice you give them.